Hey, what up, everybody? This y'all Shorty Rachel. All of y'all is having a blessed and humble night. All right, y'all. Let's talk about it, right? Let's talk about cuties. So, there's a whole controversy on Twitter, right? There's a lot of people. I hate this little thing right here. There's a lot of people that is trying to boycott Netflix because of this new movie that just came out called Cuties, right? It is the top 10. It is number 7 in the top 10 on Netflix, right? And this movie is about an 11-year-old girl named Amy who starts to rebel against her conservative family's traditions when she becomes fascinated with a free spirited dance crew, right? So, me, I haven't watched the whole movie. I've glanced through it, listened to it a little bit, watched the trailer and stuff like that. But I have not watched the whole movie completely. I did watch the what the director had said about the movie, and I could just keep going. To me personally, I think Cuties is a movie talking about what's going on in our life. And from what I've heard the director talking about this movie, I think that it's based on her story. It's her story. So I can't sit here and judge it. They boycotting it because they're talking about the movie promoting pornography and much more. Now everybody's putting this into the hashtag save our children, right? Hashtag save our children is for all kids that is being abused. Doesn't matter if it's by molestation, pedophilia, an alcoholic parent, an abusive parent, a drug addict parent, mental abuse. I could just keep going, right? All types of abuse. Everything that's going on. Hashtag save our children, right? But a lot of times when there's a child that's going through something, you don't see nobody speak up. Yet you see these parents out here that are going through hell to go all out to do what they can for their child, but it's difficult because they sometimes don't have the support, don't have the motivation, or don't basically back to they don't have the support, right? So it's difficult when you're trying to raise your child one way, but yet you got somebody else over here that's raising their child another way. um and then you got this other person over here raising this child this way. Well, this person over here is raising their child this type of way, basically differently from yours, right? They got different beliefs, different ways, but in their eyes, their child is never wrong. I could just keep going, right? Spoil the crap out of a child, or I could just make this, but this is not the topic about that. I'm just trying to put an example. So many things. So what I believe Cuties is about is, you know, the phases that our preteens go through, the stuff that they see, the stuff that they want to experience, the stage that they go through. Basically, I would say is more biography, documentary, movie type, like, but made into a movie. It's basically like the director was saying that it was the 11-year-old version of her, right? So I see where a lot of parents get mad at why they want to boycott this movie because no 11-year-old should be twerking on the screen and doing the little dances that these 11-year-olds are doing, but they're using it as an example. So I'm sitting here like this movie is not no different from what's that movie called? With the three little boys that start cutting school and they start drinking, and you see where I'm coming from. I just believe this movie is a little more real. It's showing you how these 11-year-old girls really are, how their experiences are, like what they're going through. I mean, if you really take the time and look at it, how many of these kids are doing exactly what this movie shows. So I'm gonna try to let me see real quick. I'm gonna see if they got a trailer. Where I go? Here we go. Let's go to the trailer real quick. Cause I can't play the movie without YouTube messing with me. Hold on 1 second. Here we go. Alright, y'all. So basically, I believe that the little girl shouldn't have been dancing that way. So much stuff going on in this world. Yeah. But it's like I understand the movie. I understand where the director was coming from. I understand the message and the point that she was trying to prove in making this movie. Um, for those of y'all that don't know, I want to show y'all something, right? Netflix does have this. Let's see real quick. You can actually switch, right? And as y'all can see, that was my account. And when you go to the kids account, for those of y'all worried for the kids, y'all should have already a kids account made up. When you search up on the kids account, the movie will not pop up. So I'm trying to figure out what is the boycotting about? Why are they boycotting this movie? For real, for real. Like, if I believe that movies like this, preteens should be watching, sitting down with their parents. Their parents should explain to their preteens, situations like that and what could happen, what happens, why they shouldn't do it, and I could just keep going. So, I'm gonna watch the movie. I personally don't think there's nothing wrong with this movie. I don't think no child, no, how can I say it? No minor should be watching this under the ages of 11. I believe that these little girls should sit and watch this with their moms, not just the little girls, but also the boys. Get a little understanding of, you know, of how the girls think and stuff like that. Parents should sit and watch this movie with their kids, with their kids of the ages of 11 and up, and explain to them the movie. And if you listen to, there's a trailer where the director explains on why she made this movie. And if you watch the trailer on why she explains on why she made this movie, it'll explain to you, well, it'll let you understand a little bit of why she did certain scenes the way she did them and what was going on. But if we do watch the movie, we could also understand it ourselves. I've noticed that Twitter is going crazy right now judging this movie, but it's like stuff like this needs to be seen. I believe that they should have gotten older actors to play the kids' roles. I'm not sure, but she did fine. The movie was fine. It's not a movie for minors to watch once again. And if you're going to watch this movie with your child, make sure it's the appropriate age, 11 and up. Even on Netflix, you see that I just showed y'all. You cannot put this movie on the kids channel. So before people come jump into conclusions and start assuming stuff, I believe that they need to sit down and do their homework and do a little research, because they let their kids get on roadblocks and do things that are much, much worse than what this movie sits here and talks about. Like, at the end of the day, I believe as a parent that the best way to avoid all the stuff that's going on with our kids, with our 11-year-olds and stuff like that, listen, they should not be sitting here watching Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, Trina, and all of them. Cardi B is one that'll tell you she don't make her music for kids. So you as an adult, you as a parent, should watch your child. Should monitorize exactly what your child is doing. Listen, I don't see nothing wrong with an 11-year-old dressing up putting on a princess dress, putting some little ballerina shoes on, taking ballerina classes. I see a problem with our 11-year-olds out here trying to twerk and fit in a world that they don't belong when they should be out here enjoying their youth, getting their education and enjoying their youth. There's no problem with our little girls sitting out here playing with Barbie dolls at the age of 11. And that's what they should be doing. They shouldn't be out here on social media taking selfies and posing for the next, excuse my language, but for the next motherfucker to prey on them. Parents, I need y'all to realize, right, that regardless of anything, there are a lot of sick people out here. And there's things that we have to talk to our kids no matter how embarrassing it is, no matter how hard it seems, no matter, oh, well, he might not understand it. That's why you talk to them through the stages. Through the stages. I believe that at 11, 12, 13 years old, yeah, you should be talking to your child about all this stuff. About all this stuff. But still let them enjoy their youth. Don't mess it up more for them. And I believe that a lot of parents should sit here and listen to their kids. Listen to what they gotta say. Stop the yelling. Stop the screaming. Don't help them shut the world down more. Because it takes a long time for them to figure it out. If us as adults have a very hard time trying to figure out certain things, trying to figure out who we are, what we want in life, or what we're going to do, and what our next step is going to be, what makes you think that it is easy for these kids, for this youth, to figure it out? What makes you think that their life is already figured out? What makes you think that they already know what their next step is or what they want to do? They're still learning. They're still trying to figure it out. But a lot of parents out here throw their kids out to the wolves like nothing. Like, oh yeah, go ahead, go out there, learn. Listen, if you don't teach your kids one way or another, they're going to throw themselves out to the wolves and they're going to figure it out. And what they see is what they learn. So I believe that this movie Cuties is nothing but this lady trying to send a message, trying to show us, trying to explain to us what's going on in the world of our preteens. How these 11-year-olds are thinking, how they feel. So instead of people judging and jumping into conclusions, watch the movie all the way. Listen to what the director is saying. There's listen, so far I think the trailer is good. I've heard what the director had to say. I like it. I'm gonna watch it. And then I'm gonna give y'all my opinion. Like, there's so many little girls out here. You see all these little parents out here cheering on their little kids while they twerking or dancing real freaky-ish with these little boys. Girls and boys from the ages of 2 and up. Go, go, go. What's your name? Go, go. What's your name? And yet they got a problem with somebody making a movie that is explaining to us and showing us what's going on in the lives of our preteens. Leave y'all comments. Let me know what y'all think. And for those of y'all that watched Cuties, let me know. Give me y'all honest opinion about the movie. What do y'all think about this movie? How do y'all feel about this movie? Do you believe that they should take the movie off of Netflix? Is Twitter, the people on Twitter correct? Should the movie be boycotted? Should Netflix be boycotted? What is y'all opinion? I don't know. I don't think this movie should be boycotted. I think a lot of us should watch it all the way and not just because we've seen a trailer or we've seen certain parts to it. Yes, I don't know, because it sounds like I'm contradicting myself, so I don't know how to put this. Like, I believe they should have gotten older actors, but then at the same time, I see where the director was coming. She wanted this to be real. She wanted y'all to see. She wanted y'all to feel. Like, even at one point, you hear the director saying that she asked a whole bunch of 11-year-olds. Let me see if they got the trailer here. I did, yeah, they did have the trailer. As you can see, they even got a trailer of the director explaining.
Unity. One represents her mother's traditional origins, and the other one is a group of young girls called Cuties. Our girls see that the more Cuties when one day during a neighborhood gathering in Paris, a group of they are used to sing in a video clip. And I was surprised because of their age. They were only 11 years old. So I decided to spend the next year on her doing research,
Okay.
traditional origins, and the other one is a group of young girls called Cuties. I had the idea of Cuties when one day during a neighborhood gathering in Paris, a group of very young dancers came on the stage and they were dancing like what we are used to seeing in a video clip. And I was surprised because of their age. They were only 11 years old. So I decided to spend the next year on her doing research. I met with hundreds of preteens who told me their story. I needed to know how they felt about their own femininity in today's society and how they dealt with their self-image at a time when social media is so important. Our girls see that the more.
So, like I said, if a lot of people want to take this movie the way they're not supposed to, that's on them. But before you judge a movie, before you judge a movie like this, do your research first, because there's worse movies out here that should be boycotted and aren't boycotted. Listen, I'm going to see this movie, especially after I heard the director talk and the reasons why she made this movie. And like with some world, like I think a lot of y'all is backwards, and Twitter need to get it together. Like this director's really trying to send us a message. Like a lot of our 11-year-olds are going through a lot. Our preteens, as you can see, like if you haven't seen the movie yet, go watch it. I'm about to start watching it, but I just wanted to give my honest opinion on this. Like y'all heard her say her little part. I'm about to.
Woman is overly sexualized
I can only
on
play.
social media. The more she's
I can only play so much before.
and how they dealt with their self-image at a time when social media is so important. Our girls see that the more a woman is overly sexualized on social media, the more she's successful. And the children just imitate what they see, trying to achieve the same result without understanding the meaning. And yeah, it's dangerous. I
So once again, like I was telling y'all, like she's trying to give us a message, right? And a lot of us do need to pay attention. And I've said this a lot on a lot of my videos. What we do is what our kids would do. They really look up to a lot of us. A lot of parents think that the celebrities are going to do the job, that the celebrities are the ones, or the teachers are supposed to do. No, it's your responsibility. It's our responsibility as parents to sit here and monitorize our kids. Like, if we don't teach them, if we don't guide them, if we don't show them respect, if we don't show them everything that we're supposed to show them, one way or another, they're going to learn it. They don't learn it from you, they're going to learn it from somebody else. Alright, somebody said I cannot justify watching this movie. But at the end of the day, like I said, there's worser movies, and I'm listening to this director explaining why she made this movie. A lot of y'all sit here and let y'all kids watch Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, and then want to sit here and come at the celebrities. At the end of the day, we got a lot of apps out here that separate. YouTube got YouTube Kids. Netflix got the app for the kids. Like, it's up to you on what you show them and what you let them watch. It's up to us as parents. A lot of people's gonna sit here and blame the celebrities. They're gonna sit here and blame them and blame this. Like, at the end of the day, it's not their responsibility. Like, I've seen the parts where the little girls were sitting there twerking and dancing. But again, like the director said, the reason she made this movie was because she went into the stage. She seen these little girls. She interviewed them. She wanted to get to see why these kids were doing it. And once again, I've said it. What these kids see is what they learn. I don't agree that she should have put all these kids, like, to play this role. But at the end of the day, I see what she was doing. She was trying to prove a point. And at the end of the day, what's the difference? All these kids are doing the same thing that she's showing y'all right here on Instagram. So I'm gonna turn this around for y'all to actually hear her. Like, she explains to y'all why she's doing this.
We are used to seeing in a video clip. And I was surprised because of the age. They were only 11 years old. So I decided to spend the next year and a half doing research. I met with hundreds of preteens who told me their story. I needed to know how they felt about their own femininity in today's society and how they dealt with their self-image at a time when social media is so important. Our girls see that the more a woman is overly sexualized on social media, the more she is successful. And the children just imitate what they see, trying to achieve the same result without understanding the meaning. And yeah, it's dangerous. I recreate the little girl who I was at that age, growing up in two cultures, is what gave me the strength and the values I have today. I can appreciate my double culture and live between my parents' one, which is Senegalese, and my French Western one. And as a child, that question of how to become a woman.
The one thing that I don't seem to understand is that how can someone get mad when someone tells them the truth? We live in a society where our kids aren't monitored right. We live in a society where us as females, we need to start seeing us as what we are. We're queens. So we need to start treating and respecting ourselves as queens. A lot of us have daughters and expect for them not to do certain things. But at the end of the day, your daughter is only doing what you're doing. Why is my child doing this? Why is doing this? But hello, can you take 1 minute, take a step back? Why do you think they're doing it? A lot of parents are letting these kids do what they want to do. A lot of these parents just don't care about what their kid is doing. A lot of these parents are being too overprotective, and these kids are doing the stuff behind their backs. That's why I said, I'm not judging this film. I'm going to watch it. I see where the director is going from it. I don't want to go by the he said, she said bull, because a lot of people judge movies without watching the whole thing. I've seen the clips, like I've seen a whole 20-minute clip on somebody, you know, playing the video off of Netflix on social media. And I'm sitting here like, I was going off just by seeing that 20-minute clip. I'm sitting here talking crap, going on the movie, blah, blah, blah. Until I sat here and I'm like, I'm not going to watch the movie. So I'm talking to somebody about the movie, but I'm like, you know what? Let me like do a little more research on the movie before I watch it, see what's up with the movie, blah, 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 and I could just keep going. And I see where the director is going. There's been much worse movies than this, though. And on Instagram, when you go, if anything, why not boycott Instagram? Because the director is speaking facts. If you go to Instagram, Snapchat, and stuff like that, what do you see these little kids doing? Half of them are twerking their life away on Instagram, on Twitter, and Facebook. Half of them are here making the ducky faces with lipstick on. Your 11-year-old and your 12-year-old and your 10-year-old should not be on Instagram and on Facebook with lipstick on. So basically, that's why I said, I'm like, this movie is more like a documentary, a biography, but turned into like a little movie. I don't know how to explain it. Um, I am gonna sit and watch the whole movie and then give my opinion. I've said that a couple times, but I really want to hear your opinions and stuff like that. But if y'all want to give your opinions, like, I want y'all to be real honest, because don't sit here and say, well, I would do this or this should be like this. But is you actually doing what you're preaching? Because me as a parent, I'm gonna be very honest. I have a 3-year-old, and they have stuff on YouTube. I'm about to look for it real quick. Because they got the YouTube kids, y'all. And you can monitorize everything that your child watches. For those of y'all, there's also a way, listen, you can link your Google account to your kids' Google account. So there's these little kids that my daughter likes watching. So I'm just saying, like,
Hey y'all, I'm back. Play my piano. Racheal on the piano.
uh, this thing want to mess with me right now.
What I do?
Look,
What I do? What I do? My bestie is cute. You know I'm so extra. You know I'm so curious. Who? Boo.
but since it's not my song, I don't want to play it. But like I was saying, like, up to you. Like, it's just crazy. I know that a lot of people gonna get mad. I know a lot of people's gonna say, "Oh well, that's not true." Blah blah blah. But like I said, once again, this is my opinion. This is really my opinion. Like, this show, Cuties, I didn't like the way the little girls were dancing, but the director was just trying to prove something with it. So maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right. But at the end of the day, what I am trying to say is that it's trying to show and send a message. And if you take the message the wrong way, well, that's on you. I really do understand where the director is coming from. Um, I do think that she really went overboard on one of the scenes where the girls were dancing like if they was Nicki Minaj and what's the shorty name? Meg Thee Stallion from the video WAP. But other than that, I understand the message from this movie. And I believe that a lot of us parents need to start changing a lot of the stuff that we do around our kids. Once you have kids, it's not your life no more. Your life is not your life, it's your kid's life. So, like, for real, if you can't, put videos like Zaza or Lele and stuff like that for your kids to watch, where they don't gotta be dancing and twerking and booty popping and all that stuff like that, then I don't know what to say, because there's stuff out here that you could be showing your kids that don't have nothing to do with the music that we listen to. And the music that we listen to, we don't have to always put it on while our kids are there. I mean, I have I listen to my music, and when my daughter jumps into the room, I just put on her music. When she's in bed, I listen to my music. When she's out playing, outside playing, I got my little music playing in here. She walks into it, I put it down, I turn it off. Whichever way, I don't leave that type of music playing while my child is around. I don't like it. And when somebody else does it, I tell them the same thing. That's why when people are like, "Oh, why you don't visit? Why? What's up?" Da, da, da. Because at the end of the day, you do this, that, it might end up making us bump heads, because I don't want my child doing this, but you let your child do this. But when you say stuff like that to other people, it gets them mad. I don't know why the truth hurts, but at the end of the day, it's what we do around our kids. It's not up to the celebrities. It is not up to these movies. It is not up to this music to raise our kids. It is up to us. And us as people need to start coming together to hashtag save our kids. We need to start speaking up more often, and not just because we know this person or we think this person has listen, if this person did some type of damage to somebody else, what makes you think they're not doing it to their own flesh and blood? And for those of y'all that think that I'm justifying the movie, I'm not. I'm letting y'all know that I understand the director's message. Because I tell y'all that the one part that I believe she shouldn't have did, she did. I believe that she should not have did, but she did. Whereas most people would take it as child pornography, or I could just keep going. But it's not child pornography, because the kids aren't naked or none of that. They're actually on stage dancing like if they Cardi, Meg Thee Stallion, or Nicki Minaj. But you heard the director saying she was doing her research. And once again, I'm not saying I'm justifying this. This is exactly what is going on in our communities. How our little girls are behaving, how they're getting on Instagram, how they're dressing up, how they're posing for Instagram, Facebook, and for Twitter. Not justifying a movie. I'm letting y'all know that what's happening in this movie is exactly what's happening in real life. So us as parents need to get a grip and grow the fuck up and start talking to our kids. Start explaining to them certain things in certain situations. No matter how hard, how scary, how, no matter how it may feel. But as parents, we have to, as they go through these stages, talk to them. Talk to them. How can you sit here and say, oh, it's just their fault, when a lot of parents just throw the kids out to the wolves? You don't teach them, guide them, or explain to them nothing about what's going on around them or what they see. What's going to happen is they're going to go out there and learn themselves. And what they see is what they learn. We was kids at one point. Y'all sitting here wondering why these kids are disappearing and what's happening is because a lot of y'all is ignoring the stuff that's going on around us. A lot of y'all is not talking to y'all kids and explaining to them. Like right now, like I told y'all, I believe that the movie Cuties, like even the director is explaining to y'all why she made that movie. So, one, is not a movie for kids to watch. And two, they could have found the actors to be older, like somebody like Kiki Palmer, Ariana Grande, something like that. But I don't know what to say about that. That's the only part that I don't agree to it. But I'm gonna watch the movie and then I'm gonna give y'all my honest opinion. And then we'll see if it changes or not.